simply said to me he wanted to make fast normal. During his career, he was famous for knowing how fast his splits were in training and competition, and he was a fearless competitor, not afraid to risk it all. Understanding the basic thought in ski racing, it was that the fastest one to the bottom wins. Miller proved time and time again, with outrageous recoveries, dramatic come-from-behind finishes, that raw talent, determination can carry you all the way to the top. Whenever I'm in Europe and I say I'm from New Hampshire, people will say, home of Bode Miller. He's revered in the Alps, and his name is echoed around the classic World Cup trails and Olympic runs around the world. This boy from New Hampshire that roamed the trails of Cannon Mountain while his mother worked in the admin office, who forged his own workout routines, questioned the foundational beliefs of ski technique, and used his mind, spirit, and body to change the game forever. My friends, the rest is history. He made fast normal. It's an honor to introduce one of the greatest ski racers in the world, Bode Miller.
Fiercely independent, remarkably gifted, and always innovating, Bode Miller revolutionized the ski world by doing it his way and winning repeatedly in all 5 alpine events. As the most successful male alpine skier in U.S. history, Miller's resume includes 6 Olympic and 5 World Championship medals, including 4 gold, 33 World Cup wins, 79 podiums, and 2 World Cup overall globes. During an unprecedented 16-day stretch at the onset of the 2005 season, Miller won races in each of the core disciplines: slalom, giant slalom, Super G, and downhill, a feat that has never been equaled by a male skier, nor likely ever will. Miller is also the only male skier who has won 5 or more times in each event, and along with Kjetil-André Aamodt, is the only male skier to win Olympic medals in 4 disciplines, including gold in the Vancouver 2010 combined. The son of counterculture parents, Miller spent the earliest years of his Franconia, New Hampshire youth in a backwoods cabin without plumbing or electricity. After earning a scholarship to attend the Carrabassett Valley Academy, he steadily climbed the worldwide rankings, first as a technical skier and later in the speed events. Miller inspired legions of U.S. fans with his risk-taking style and devil-may-care attitude. He introduced the world to shape skis and adhered to his own strength training regimens, building a makeshift gym with farm implements in the family barn. Miller won his 33rd and final World Cup race at Beaver Creek during the 2012 season and skipped 2013 so he could return for an encore at the 2014 Sochi Olympics. On February 16, 2014, he became the oldest Olympic medalist in alpine skiing when he won the bronze in Super G at age 36. Since retiring from the World Cup Tour, Miller is engaged actively in the ski industry, consulting with Alpine X on indoor ski hills and pioneering the Peak Ski Company with longtime friend and business colleague Andy Worth. Miller is married to Morgan Beck Miller, a former professional volleyball player, raising their family in Big Sky, Montana. As America's foremost male alpine ski racer of all time, and a legend around the world in the sport, Bode Miller earns induction into the U.S. Ski and Snowboard Hall of Fame.
dads stayed awake. It's pretty special tonight. You know, everybody else's heart is just going like this too. Pretty special. Oh, wow. Okay. Bode Miller, having been elected by representation of the 15 million skiers and snowboarders in America, and let's just imagine how many of those other racers around the world, we hereby bestow upon you on this night in Big Sky, Montana, your new home, our country's highest snow sport award, the Medal of Honor. And we confer upon you from this day forward, Friday, March 24th, 2023, induction into the U.S. Ski and Snowboard Hall of Fame, where your accomplishments will forever be remembered.
Those are some tough acts to follow. What struck me when I knew I had to speak to you guys tonight was more about the group that I was joining than actually my accomplishments. I think you've seen people tonight that have done things that have changed all of our lives on the snow, but also in some cases off the snow, and have informed business decisions and aspirations across spectrums way outside of skiing. And I think joining that, I think it's in a good way balances out what you see on the screen, which you've seen in lots of athletes, is a bunch of ego or I was great and won stuff. And while I think that's good, I think this is a great moment for me to establish and to also admit the humility that comes with skiing, and also joining a group of people who have spent their entire life being out on the mountain and skiing, but also impacting everyone else's lives. So I'm not of the experience level of some of the people who have been up here tonight. So I hope that a lot of my best influence on the sport, on my kids, and for you guys is still to come. But I think it's a really remarkable thing to see the people up here and then reflect back on the people who have allowed me to get to where I am now, and also that I still rely on family and coaches and friends to support me in where I want to go. So I think, you know, I don't want to say I've taken people for granted regularly, but I think anyone who's been a young man and tried to do something like ski racing will admit that they have done that. So I want to take this moment to thank you know, my tables, my family, friends, coaches. It's been an awesome time. I know there's been a lot of suffering and pain in the midst of it as well, but I enjoyed it. I hope you guys did too, and I appreciate the help. I appreciate the effort and the sacrifices that happened and that continue to happen. And I do want to say briefly that I think we see the ski industry. It was interesting to hear Mike speak, and I've known Mike for a lot of years, and as well as several other people who have been up here. He was an idol of mine and influenced a lot of things that I did, but he spoke about the industry kind of in a slightly more broad context than what we think of as a sport or an industry. And there's another step to that. It's not just, it's a lifestyle, right? And we know, we think of maybe sports like surfing as a lifestyle, but skiing as a lifestyle is incredibly informative. It teaches and it develops people. It's humbling and inspiring, and a lot of other stuff as well. And I was a beneficiary of that, and I think that we all probably have been, and I think that's remarkable. But what I mean about that is that while people are honored in this, you know, this context of their accomplishments, I think that everybody who skis makes a contribution to that. It's like almost like an entity itself, and it makes people want to do it, but it also contributes to what people take away from it when they do it. And the overall sort of feel of being a skier, going skiing. And in that sense, I think that there's value to everyone's, and significant value in some cases, to everyone's participation in the sport. It's not a normal thing. It's not a, I love football. It's not football. It's not just a sport. It really is it's a life changing entity that I think we've all plugged into. And I am thankful that I've got to do it as much as I have. And it's been amazing to be here in Big Sky and have my induction here right next to my home, and welcome you guys here, and hopefully we'll make some good turns tomorrow. Thank you.